where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
Sitters are here.
I'm ready. Okay, kids, behave.
Man to man.
I got the little guy.
Oh, did you leave cash for the pizza?
I got it.
With more features than ever.
All right, who's hungry?
Mobile banking from Central Bank lets you deposit checks, pay bills,
Okay, you're gonna get a rip screen.
send and receive funds with Pop Money, and more. So you can stay in the game without missing a step. Do more with mobile banking from Central Bank, official bank of UK Athletics.
Some things never change. Like the sound of pads crushing against the equipment, the feel of cleats on fresh-cut grass, or the deep rest from a full practice. Another thing that never changes, the feeling of relief when the whistle blows for break. And the savory snack to go along with it. This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingy moment.
At Atkinson Sims & Kermode, we're here to help you get back to what matters most.
Helping you through your financial situation is our only purpose. We are involved at every step, guiding you towards relief.
A better life can't exist after bankruptcy. Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78. Call us today and take the first step towards a new beginning.
What kind of regional tournament game you expect?
Well, you know, it's fitting that it's a Scott County Lexington Catholic match here. There's no Danny Haney and no Billy Hicks, but at least, both programs have long storied histories against each other. They've played well against each other, and, for another 11th region title. It's been a lot of years that we played against each other for it, so one more time, what the heck.
Your ball club comes in 31-2, I believe, in the state in the regional championship. Opportunity to go to the Sweet 16. What have you told your ball club?
Just to play within the moment, and leave their dreams out to the dreams for now. Do what we've done for 31 games. Just play Catholic basketball, be focused on the game, try their hardest, and put everything out there. Don't get outplayed tonight. We lose the game going down doing our stuff, then so be it. But if we go out there and play as hard as we can, we think we've got the better team. We can go out and get it done.
Your bench has been giving you really good minutes all season long.
Yeah, for sure. With Colson Perry, Michael Hawkins, Ian Rothbauer, and Ryan Russell, we've got 4 guys coming off the bench that have done marvelous things for us all year long. They bring energy and focus, scoring, and defense all the way through, and most importantly, they know what their role is, and they do a great job with it.
The keys to winning this game tonight against Scott County?
We're going to have to rebound. We got to keep Taryn Hamlin off the boards. He's a great player. You got to keep Elias Richardson off the boards. Those guys are going to be tough to do, and I think we got to force a few turnovers, get them going early, use our length against their guards.
We appreciate your time, Coach Salzman. Good luck tonight.
I appreciate it, Gary. I sure hope I'm interviewing with you guys at the end of the game.
That's Brandon Salzman of Lexington Catholic. We'll come back and talk to Tim Glenn after this timeout.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
Okay, we're coming with Tim Glenn, the fine coach of Scott County. Coach, everybody counted you out. You were under 500, but your ball club was on a mission, and you've been getting some good production here in the regional tournament.
Really have. I'm just proud. It's a tribute to the guys' work. They just they willed to win a few times, and here late they've come together and put together a few games, and just put ourselves in a great spot. So it's a good time. I told Brandon, I said, boy, it's sure good to see you here. I'm glad to be here with you.
Yeah, it's your fifth year in a row in this regional title game.
That really is, you know, testimony to the kids, of course, that left, but also these are the kids that were battling them for the most part each day in practice, and that helps us, you know, down the course of the year. They had to figure out this level and those things, but, you know, it took a full season to get these guys to this point. So,
what do you do defensively against Ben Johnson? Because he's a good-sized guard. He can shoot it. He can drive to the basket. There isn't much he can't do offensively, but you know that.
He's absolutely impressive to me. I mean, the true epitome of a scorer. And the way he makes everybody better around him, that's what makes him even more dangerous. Because those kids, they understand how to read him. He reads them. It's phenomenal the job Brandon Salzman's done with these guys. You can't guard him with one guy. I know that. We're going to have to guard him as a team. And that's our plan tonight. We've got to guard him with all five. So.
You've got the big guy down low, Taryn Hamilton. I keep wanting to call him Taryn Manny. Manny was a player for years. I'm going back in time, but the big 6'6" center, Hamilton, he's really played well for you.
You know, Taryn Hamilton, I cannot say enough about that young man. Somebody's going to get a really, really good guard in college because, I mean, he's a 6'6" wing. Yeah. I played him on the wing all year long. We do take him down into the post some, but it's because he's so skilled. He can do everything. And when his motor's up and going, he's as good of a 6'6" guard as you'll find anywhere. So,
Coach, what do you think of the keys to this basketball game for Scott County to be the regional champion and head on to the Sweet 16?
One, we're going to have to contain Ben Johnson's drive, do it together as a unit. The boards are going to be big for us. We've got to really go hard. Those guys, we're really matched up size-wise about the same. But they do a really good job of going to the boards and releasing and doing those things, and we're going to have to do the things correctly in order to make that happen. And we got to limit turnovers. Every time you play Lexington Catholic, they really rely on you turning the ball over in order to score. So if we can, we did a great job the other night against Tate's Creek. We only had 6, and so hopefully we can continue that.
Coach Glenn, it's always great to talk to you. Class act, and good luck tonight against Lexington County.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
That's Tim Glenn, the head coach of Scott County. We'll come back and, of course, set the starting lineups at Scott County and Lexington Catholic here on the Prep Spin Network. How you doing there, little fella?
Sitters are here.
I'm ready. Okay, kids, behave.
Man to man.
I got the little guy.
Oh, did you leave cash for the pizza?
I got it.
With more features than ever,
All right, who's hungry?
mobile banking from Central Bank lets you deposit checks,
You're in timeout.
pay bills,
Okay, you're going to get a rip screen.
send and receive funds with pop money, and more. So you can stay in the game without missing a step. Do more with mobile banking from Central Bank, official bank of UK Athletics.
Some things never change. Like the sound of pads crushing against the equipment, the feel of cleats on fresh-cut grass, or the deep rest from a full practice. Another thing that never changes, the feeling of relief when the whistle blows for break. And the savory snack to go along with it. This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingy moment.
At Atkinson Sims and Kermode, we are here to help you get back to what matters most.
Helping you through your financial situation is our only purpose. We are involved at every step, guiding you towards relief.
A better life can't exist after bankruptcy. Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78. Call us today and take the first step towards a new beginning.
Did you know, in addition to education assistance, UPS now provides housing for qualified employees? Through the UPS Kentucky Living Options and Opportunities Path, also known as UPS Kentucky Loop, you can work part-time in Louisville, go to school at Jefferson Community and Technical College, and receive housing for up to 2 years. Earn a degree or learn a trade. It's up to you. Loop benefits are available to those who live outside the Louisville metro area, whether you're just starting college or going back to school. It's time to get in the loop. For more information, visit upsjobs.com. That's upsjobs.com.
by the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
Whitaker Bank supports 956 Kentucky charities and community events.
Employees of Whitaker Bank volunteered 14,860 hours to better our Kentucky communities.
93 nonprofits that promote diversity and inclusion in Kentucky are supported by Whitaker Bank.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
At Atkinson Sims and Kermode, we are here to help you get back to what matters most.
Helping you through your financial situation is our only purpose. We are involved at every step, guiding you towards relief.
A better life can't exist after bankruptcy. Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78. Call us today and take the first step towards a new beginning.
Welcome back to the 11th Region Championship game, Scott County and Lexington Catholic. Scott County 18 wins on the season, Lexington Catholic 31 wins. This is Gary Ball with Tony Wise, the coach at Franklin County, and the king of stream, William Warfield, Joe Allen as well, our videographer. And we've got Scott County, Lexington Catholic. These two teams played back early in the season, and Lexington Catholic got them by about 12 points. But what do you think has changed for the Cardinals, and what do you think has changed for the Knights?
Oh gosh, Gary, that was game 3 of the year. I mean, that seems like 10 years ago. What you've seen is Scott County finished the season. They're sitting at 11-13, and Tim Glenn's got to replace Billy Hicks, and all he got his guys to do is win 7 of the last 10, including being down 7, with a minute and a half to go in the district semifinal against Bryan Station. And here they are in the regional final for the 5th year in a row. For Lexington Catholic, I don't think much has changed. They've just gotten a lot better at what they do. They've got the alpha dog and Ben Johnson and guys that accept that fact about them, and they've rolled along with only 2 losses on the year to be sitting here in 31-2. So I think this is a situation where we're not surprised to see Lexington Catholic and Scott County. We expected Lexington Catholic to be here, but Scott County might be a little bit of a surprise. But in the end, since Scott County came into the region in 2016. Dunbar won it once, Central won it, Madison Central's won it twice. Other than that, every regional winner's been one of these 2 teams.
So much for the theory of the 8th region. For Scott County, they came in 11th. Everybody thought, well, you won't win any regional tournaments in 11th. They have dominated this 11th region. And Catholic's had some success in this 11th region as well.
Absolutely. This is Scott County's 5th year in a row being in the regional final. The last time Lexington Catholic was here was, ironically, the last time they got out of the district tournament was in 2017. They lost to Scott County in the regional finals. But I think the bigger goal for Lexington Catholic is we can talk about it, they can't, is to looking ahead. They have not been past the first round of the state tournament since 2010. And as we talked about the other night, the 11th region draw sets up really well in the state tournament. So the winner of this game has a chance to make a lot of noise here in 2 weeks in Rupp Arena.
They sure do. And Scott County, of course, they're led by Taryn Hamilton. You heard Tim Glenn talk about him. He said some college is going to get a very special guard. And what do you mean by that?
We played against Scott County. I've seen them play a number of times. And, he's the kind of kid, to be honest with you, I think his best days are ahead of him. I'm not sure he realizes how good he can be. He can put the ball on the floor. He shoots it with range. He's great on the offensive glass. He has a knack for blocking shots. I mean, I just think his ceiling is untapped at the moment. So I think what Coach Glenn is trying to say is whoever gets him isn't getting a guy who has maximized his potential.
We're just moments away from going to the public address announcer here at Eastern Kentucky University's McBrayer Arena with the starting lineups. It's Lexington Catholic. Everybody asks me, they don't ask me about the 31 wins, William and Tony Wise. They ask me about the 2 losses that Catholic has, and they are to a very good St. Henry basketball team. We saw them up close and personal in the All-A. They won the All-A state championship, and then we saw them lose to Bourbon County.
Yeah, and we should quote, put an asterisk next to Bourbon County, not taking anything away from Bourbon County, but Lexington Catholic was without 2 of their players in that game. The whole second half without a star player as well when you talk about letting.
Let's go to the public address announcement.
Here on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University, home of the EKU Colonels and the 2020 11th Region Final. We ask, ladies and gentlemen, now that you, if you would please rise and direct your attention to the east end of the Coliseum as we honor our nation with the playing of our national anthem. Playing our national anthem tonight will be the Scott County High School Band under the direction of Lindsey King. And now, our national anthem.
Eastern Kentucky University is the site. Good crowd in here for this regional championship game for Saturday. Usually we had the Saturday semifinals here on Saturday, and the championship was either Monday or Tuesday. You talked about that in the coaches meeting, but today we're playing the championship at 5 o'clock. It's kind of an odd time, isn't it?
Well, it's kind of cool because, you know, when you're done, you can go eat dinner, but I hope they change the format from this. You know, this is asking a lot for any team to play 3 games in 5 days on this level, but here we are. It should be a lot of fun.
Should be, and we'll see. It'll be Hamilton going up against Wendy. Luke is 6'4", and Taryn Hamilton is 6'6". We heard Tim Glenn talk about him in the pregame show. So it'll be Wedding against Hamilton. And this tip is up, and it is controlled by Coffey in backcourt. He's going to hand it to Chase Grigsby. He'll work it down the lane, working there on Goman. Looking to the left side, can't get it to anybody. Comes out to Elias Richardson out front. Goes back over on the left side to Leak. Leak kicks it back to Grigsby. Back to Richardson, looking for cutters. And Richardson tries to penetrate on Wedding, and Wedding's telling him something, talking to him.
Yeah, Ben Johnson with the early matchup on Taryn Hamilton.
Leak over to Coffey out of the corner, and there's a three-pointer knocked down by Grigsby.
You know, we talked about the other night, Chase Grigsby is one of those X factors for Scott County. He played really well the other night.
Averages 6 points a game, and you got Leak averaging 15. Hamilton averages 21. Luke Wedding's three-pointer, bullseye.
Yeah, bad gamble by Chase Grigsby going underneath the screen. You cannot guard the Lexington Catholic motion that way.
Boy, Luke raised up and looked real comfortable shooting that three. Of course, he's a 44% three-point shooter. Here's a steal by Ben Johnson. He drives down and dunks it with authority.
This is a huge key. You know, we talked about Tate's Creek sped Scott County up, but Scott County can't handle the pressure. Could be a long day for Scott County.
Knocked away out of bounds by Smith. It will go back to Scott County. They got a three out of the corner from Grigsby. It's 5-3. Knights on top. Ben Johnson has a bucket.
You know, Lexington County does such a great job. They bait you to think that pass is open, that float pass, and that second layer of that 2-2-1 just gobbles those things up like free safeties.
And Chase Grigsby pounds it down, gets it out to Richardson. Over it comes to Aaron Leak. Leak working on Johnson. Gets it over now to McCaleb Coffey. Coffey puts a dribble down, gets it out now to Elias Richardson. Now they go over to Aaron Leak. Leak backs it up. You know, good sign the first possession. They got Grigsby open on the left side for that three. Now they go to Taryn Hamilton. He goes to the basket, puts it up, no. Strong, rebounded down low by Richardson. He turns, throws it up, no. And rebounded by Coffey. He gets it out now. Grigsby lines up to three. Off the rim, gets it back. Right side up and in. What an effort by Grigsby.
I think one of the main goals for Lexington Catholic and one of the huge keys in the game is to be able to keep Scott County off the offensive glass, which Tate's Creek could not the other night.
Pelfrey over to Johnson, swing it to Jackson Smith. Looking for cutters. Wedding cuts through the lane. They don't get it to him. Give it to Ben Johnson. He can shoot from there. He takes it to the basket, faking, kicks it over on the left side, and out of the left side, that Luke Wedding three skips off the front of the iron. Rebounded by Coffey.
Great pass by Ben Johnson, but great challenge by Taryn Hamilton.
Hamilton tries to get it back to Richardson, but he wasn't ready for it. Coffey's got it over to Grigsby. Grigsby's ready to shoot as soon as he gets the ball. I don't blame him. Down low, Richardson powers it up and draws the foul on Goman.
You know, Richardson, for a right-handed player, loves to deke right and then spin back left. Did a great job of drawing the foul there.
He'll be at the line. These are the first free throws we've seen in this basketball game, in this regional title game. Good crowd in here at McBrayer Arena, Alumni Coliseum.
You know, it's funny you bring up free throws. Looking in the first two regional games, Scott County is plus 13 at the free throw line over their opponents, whereas Lexington Catholic is only plus 5. So 47 attempts in 2 games for Scott County at the free throw line in the regional tournament.
Richardson gives them the lead back 6-5, and Goman comes over now to Smith. Back to Ben Johnson, lines up to three, off the iron, no. Rebound and Wedding, up and in. Luke Wedding with 5 points. He's got 5 of the 7.
Yeah, that's giving too clean a look to Ben Johnson. Once again, Scott County trying to play great team defense. Keeps going underneath the screens.
Chase Grigsby, and good defense there by Catholic, and goes off of Catholic. Wedding came out to help out on Grigsby that time, along with Jackson Smith, and it goes back to Scott County. They got the blue and the white numbers. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the girls' team last night.
Oh, my God, that was brutal.
You can't read them.
Hamilton lines up to three, and it hits the front of the rim and goes over and in for Hamilton.
He shot it so flat, he got a lot of topspin.
A lot of line drive shot there.
That's right.
9-7 on the thank you very much three-pointer by Hamilton. They lead at 9-7.
Much better defense by Scott County. You got to stay on Ben Johnson's hip and chase him through that screen.
Wedding cuts through. He's open, and a foul's going to be called on Grigsby.
You know, one of the things Lexington Catholic does so well is that if you overplay them, they're so good at back cutting. I think it's a lost art in basketball. The pull-up 10 or 12-footer and back cutting. And, man, they will back cut you to death, and that was a beautiful back cut by Luke Wedding.
Wedding is a 6'4" senior, and he knocks down the free throw, and he has had a wonderful senior season.
Oh, gosh, yes. He's scoring above his average here in the regional tournament. He averages 7.8 on the year and is getting 12 a game, and 5 quick early ones for him.
He has got 7
quick, that's right, the offensive
free
rebound.
throws. 9-9. Scott County trying to get it across the 10-second line. Leak. It goes now to Richardson. Elias down low. Off glass. Good. Richardson with his first basket. He has 3 points. And it's 11-9 Cardinals. Down low. Goldman puts it up. No, rolls off and rebounded by Richardson. Then he throws it out and Goldman picks it off. Richardson's trying to get it out to guard. Threw it to Goldman. Ben Johnson down the lane. Left-handed layup up and in.
You know, McCaleb Coffey did such a wonderful job on Amari Taylor Thursday night. This is a whole different animal in Ben Johnson.
11-all now. We're tied. 3:30 to go in the first quarter. Grigsby, he hit the big 3 out of the left side to start the scoring. Coffey, he's open. They'll give him that shot. Gives to Hamilton. Terrence working down low, loses the ball, gets it in the corner to Richardson, and he knocks it down.
I'm not sure how that's not a walk.
Yeah. He did the smart thing.
If this was hockey, he'd get 2 assists.
Well, he did the smart thing. He kicked it out. Here's Ben Johnson, and that 3's off the rim. Rebound of Smith, and a shot won't go there for Pelfrey, and battle for it. And coming out there with it is Chase Grigsby. He's being dogged by Smith. Overcome Richardson, another 3. That's off the rim, and rebounded by Jackson Smith. Gives it up to Goldman.
Breakneck pace early.
Goldman down low, off glass, up and in.
Great body control by Goldman. Up and down we go. This is good stuff.
14-13. Hamilton in the corner. Coffey lines it up, and it's off the rim. Rebounded by Ben Johnson. That's one thing Ben gives you, Coach Wise. He's a great rebounder.
You know, one of the things that I really liked about Scott County doing early is being patient on offense. The last 2 possessions. Quick shots, and they don't go down as turnovers in the statistical category, but that quick shot with probably their worst outside shooter is the same as throwing it in the stands.
That's a good point. You make a few good points, Coach.
I do my best. Being golf season and all.
I know. And connected there by Jack Goldman. He has 3 points, 4 for Johnson. Wedding leads him with 7. And out of the game,
Rothbauer in for Pelfrey.
And also Josh Breadwood in, and I believe Grigsby went out. Did he get a second? (15-14). He's on the bench, so wouldn't have the fouls up
and
there.
Then Ryan Russell's checked in for Goldman.
Gotcha.
I do not think this pace favors Scott County at all.
Hamilton gets it back to McCaleb Coffey. Coffey works it across on Rothbauer, and that's going to be a foul called, and I think Rothbauer picked it up, didn't he? No, they called on Luke Wedding. That's what I talked to Coach Salzman about. I said Luke Wedding's going to stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah.
It's because he's so aggressive.
He's one of their better rebounders and shoots the eyes out.
Hamilton to Coffey, top of the circle. Down low fakes, good fake, off glass, up and in by McCaleb Coffey. That was a good ball fake right there.
Beautiful move by McCaleb Coffey.
16-15. Scott County Cardinals leading the Knights of Lexington Catholic. Pass now to Smith, back door, hanging up and throwing it down is Ryan Russell.
McCaleb Coffey, I think, got hit in the face. I don't know if that was an inadvertent elbow or what. But, you know, talking about McCaleb Coffey and the job he does defensively, you know, in the regional tournament, he's averaging 12.5 points a game. He only averages 5.5 for the year. So he has been a huge addition offensively on top of what he brings defensively in helping getting Scott County to the regional final.
Jeremy Hamilton will come in for Coffey, who goes out, as you said, took a elbow inadvertently to the side of the head, I believe.
Yeah, I think he looks okay. He's getting some work over there on the sideline. Hope he's okay.
Hamilton gets it into Aaron Leak. Leak streaking down court. He's bumped, and that foul's going to be called on Rothbauer. Ian Rothbauer picked it up. And that is the third foul against the Knights. Third team foul. Scott County has committed 2 team fouls. The officials are from the 7th region in this basketball regional championship game. Hamilton kicks it back now out front to Aaron Leak. Leak pounds his fist. What's that play, Tony?
They're going to run a stack play here for Hamilton, try to get him isolated on the block.
Hamilton gets it back to Leak. Leak penetrates, spinning. 1:27 in the first quarter. Into the lane. Leak spinning, kicks it back to Richardson. Back it comes to Hamilton.
Rothmeyer just plays unbelievable on-ball defense.
Ben Johnson's got Taryn Hamilton now. Now they come out to Elias Richardson. He kicks it over now to Jeremy Hamilton. He comes over to Leak. 1:05 to go, 17-16. Richardson spinning on the baseline, cut off. Kicks it out now, Leak. And he walked, he traveled with it.
That's a great closeout by Ryan Russell. He didn't go flying as a defender and get beat off the dribble. Very much under control and forced the turnover. I like the possession by Scott County, and then they kind of got sped up right there.
Sure did. Good student section in here for Catholic. Their student section has been phenomenal all year, really.
Yeah, they're fun to watch.
Ben Johnson has 4 points. Gets it over on the left side over to Goman. They swing it around. Russell comes over to Ben Johnson, gets a pick from Rothbauer. Comes out over to Goman. Now they go back to Ryan Russell. Back to Ben Johnson. Over to Jack Goman. Goman goes in. Floater rolls out. Rebound. What a rebound by Taryn Hamilton. That's a man rebound right there.
It sure was. I was curious to see if they ran so much time off of Lexington Catholic. We talked about it Thursday night, is taking the 2-for-1 back-to-back possessions. Lexington Catholic with the ball coming out of the second quarter.
Down to 10 seconds, and Aaron Leak will run it in on Goman on the left elbow. 5 seconds, kicks it over, and out of the Breadwood knocks down a 3. Josh Breadwood at the first quarter buzzer, and Lexington Catholic and Scott County in a good one here at the end of the first quarter. It's 19-17. Scott County will be back on the PrepSpin.com Mingy Beef Jerky High School Basketball Game of the Week.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
There are 50 Whitaker Bank locations serving Kentucky communities just like mine.
61 Whitaker Bank ATMs throughout Kentucky make getting quick access to cash easy.
Whitaker Bank staff serves the needs of nearly 70,000 Kentucky customers every day.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
Folks, this is Gary. Welcome back here to the Alumni Coliseum on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University. No baseball game going on out there today.
No, but I'll say something real quick. That was Josh Breadwood's 6th three-pointer made on the year.
Yeah, good time to hit one.
You know, in these games, there's always an X factor.
Right.
Steps up. You always see it.
Breadwood with a big 3, and that was the end of the first quarter. And they lead by 2. Scott County over Lexington Catholic by 2 points. Out it comes to Goman. Jack penetrates, gets it up over to Rothbauer. They go now to Russell. Russell spinning down low, gets it now to Jackson Smith. Back to Russell. He fakes with the ball, goes into the free throw lane. Back to Goman. He's going to let a 3 rip, and it rolls top of the rim and rolled in.
Okay, we're even. Taryn Hamilton have 1, now Jack Goman has 1.
And that gives the Knights a lead back 20-19.
Great job by Ryan Russell to create that shot with a ball fake.
You got the first quarter stats. Hamilton, and there's going to be a foul, and they're going to call a
Jackson
charge.
Smith. He rotated over. Great job on the end from the weak side of the press.
So he now is tied for the record at Catholic with taking charges. The next one will break the all-time record.
Yeah, he's just an unsung hero. You know, he was so solid the other night. Looks like he's picked up where he's left off.
Scott County in that first quarter, they were 4 out of 7 from 3.
That's the difference in the game.
That's like Kentucky today. They were hitting the 3 in the second half. That's how they won the game by 1 point over Florida. What a game that was.
Yes. Scott County with 3 offensive rebounds on the first possession and no more the rest of the quarter.
And Russell double dribbled. They're going to give the ball to Scott. And it's a good sign McCaleb Coffey's back in there. That's a good sign.
Absolutely. That was a good call by the official. Ryan Russell wasn't sure if he wanted to hand it off or pitch it and kind of picked it up and put it back on the ground.
Aaron Leak over to Hamilton. Taryn takes it down the lane, jumps it up from 15, got it. That is 5 now for Taryn Hamilton. And it's 21-20. Back and forth we go.
I think if you're Lexington Catholic, you're loving this pace, and you're only down 1.
Ben Johnson. They've got Redwood on Ben Johnson.
You know, that's a foul you can live with from Jeremy Hamilton. He's out there trying to deny the wing and knock Rothbauer on the bench. Unintentional, of course, but he's out there really, really trying to deny that wing.
And that is the 4th team foul against the Cardinals. They got a couple more to give. Lexington Catholic has only committed 3 team fouls.
And that's Jeremy Hamilton's 2nd personal foul.
He played a great district tournament, didn't he?
He sure as heck did.
Ben Johnson hangs, put it up, no, draws the foul. Ben was hoping to go to the line with a and 1.
You know what? Scott County's defense obviously is centered around slowing down Ben Johnson, and what makes him a great player is, you know, he's okay to defer right now. You know what I mean? He's okay with his teammates, you know, 21-21 in a tie game here in the regional championship, but I have a feeling he'll take over when he needs to.
He kind of does, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he kind of fills the game out, and he knows when he's got to take over a game, and he pretty much does it.
Always under control.
First free throw's good, and second one rolls off. Ben is, if you're wondering, one of the top free throw shooters in the state of Kentucky. 88%.
He missed 2 the other night.
Yeah, he did. Now Grigsby's back in there. Down low goes. They go to Richardson. Hangs, puts it up and in. He thought he was fouled. No call. That is 8 points for Elias Richardson.
I thought he was fouled too. There's a lot of contact down there. So what Scott County's doing defensively, they keep going under the screens, but they've got Taryn Hamilton on Jackson Smith, who's not an outside threat, and he's clogging up the lane, so it's hard to find any driving lanes.
Ben Johnson down the lane, shovels, what a pass, and laying it up and in is Smith, but what a pass by Ben Johnson.
He sucked Taryn Hamilton in over there.
And we're going to get a timeout, and Aaron Leak and Luke Wedding mix it up a little bit.
Chase Grigsby.
Yeah, Grigsby, excuse me. And Grigsby mixes it up, and Tim Glenn's a little fired up. And Coffey came running over and gave him a little bit of a shove.
Well, you know, they got tied up. Coach Glenn called a timeout. Chase Grigsby makes the mistake of dribbling in the corner and picking his dribble up. Watching the replay here, he calls timeout. He gets a timeout. They're tied up. Chase Grigsby is lucky he doesn't get stuck with a technical foul because he kind of threw his arm to get the defender off. I'm glad that didn't land, or that would have been a technical foul.
Scott County shot 58% in that first quarter, 7 of 12 shooting. Lexington Catholic 50% at 6 of 12. Like you said, Tony, we got a good one here.
Absolutely.
We're still tied 23-all with 5:50 to go in the first half.
I mean, Gary, it's Lexington Catholic, Scott County. Would you really expect anything else?
Yeah, they've really developed a great rivalry over the years in high school basketball.
And, you know, I do think Lexington Catholic is the more talented team, but Scott County is not intimidated. They've been here 5 years in a row, and they have such a rivalry, as we've talked about, against Lexington Catholic. Now, Lexington Catholic going to the 3-2 zone again.
Yeah, that's been a really good defensive alignment. Leak back to Grigsby. Grigsby fakes the three-pointer. That would have been from NBA range. That would have been Tyler Hero range right there. Grigsby. My goodness, has he turned out to be a good pro or what?
Oh, man. Most of them are to play for Cal.
Leak over to Grigsby. Lets the three go. Got it! That's the second three for Chase. 8 points. 26-23, Scott County. State's #1 team, Lexington Catholic in the RPI rankings. Johnson kicks it over to Wedding. He goes baseline, scoops it up and in. Great move by Luke Wedding. He has 9 points already in this basketball game.
Well, you know, Chase Grigsby is in no-win situation there because you have to get Luke Wedding off the three-point line, which is a bad closeout, but you got him off the line. You gave up the 2, though.
It's another good point, Tony. What's going on?
That's exciting.
Grigsby over to Hamilton. Taryn fakes the three. Goes into the basket, faking to Richardson. Over to Grigsby. He says, hey, I've hit 2 threes already. I'm going to fire another one here if you let me, Catholic. 26-25. Scott County Cardinals by 1 point with 4.5 minutes to go in the first half from Eastern Kentucky University McBrayer Arena.
I know Grigsby hit the 3 last time, but the
Leak. 3 knocks it down. First bucket of the game for Aaron Leak. It's 29-25. Cardinals, they just won't go away, will they?
Players make plays in these kind of games because Scott County really hasn't done much against the 3-2 zone. They just had a couple kids raise up and make 2 3-point shots.
Yep. Yeah, Leak, and also they've hit 4 already. No, make that. Richardson hit 1.
They've made 6 now.
6 3-pointers. Ben Johnson, and Coffey's really getting after him. Ben spinning to the basket. Left hand lays it up and in. That was vintage Ben Johnson.
Yes, and Taryn Hamilton, a poor job rotating defensively. Could have drawn the charge or blocked the shot and didn't either.
29-27.
I had a coach describe Ben Johnson to me. We played him on Tuesday. Ted Hall, I believe, described him at LCA, said he's just slippery. And he just finds his way through those alleys.
Hamilton with the shot, banks it in and thought it was going to come a little bit too strong, but it went in for Hamilton. Give it back to Ben Johnson. Right side, he lines it up from 18 off the iron and rebounded by Coffey and Hamilton. Hamilton brings it into front court for Scott County out of Georgetown, Kentucky. They split the schools with great crossing, and here's Scott County right back in the regional championship game.
As a district runner-up.
Yeah. Frederick Douglass was the champion.
As the 4 seed.
Yeah. Shot won't go there, and looks like Leak might have got a bad ankle situation out of that. Down low, Cather goes and laid up and in, and that's Smith. And yeah, he's going to have to go out. Aaron Leak is shaken up, and we're going to get back in the ball game. Josh Breadwood.
I thought that was one of the few times today that Scott County really forced the issue. Aaron Leak really didn't have anything. Great step up on defense there. I believe it was Jackson Smith and forced a tough shot. And when you get that close proximity, you have a chance to land it on somebody's ankle. Let's hope he's okay.
I've covered about 17, 18 of these 11th region final. Not the best crowd we've had in here, but it's a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, not bad.
Scott County goes now to Grigsby. He throws and knocked away by Goldman. So good hands there by Jack Goldman. We already talked about the fact that he'll battle this fall for the quarterback at Lexington County, him and probably Josh Brownell. That's what we're told. And Kevin Brueggemann. I wonder if Tony's here or if he's watching. Do we know yet, William? He's here. Tony's here. Tony and Lucy are here in the building. Probably with Dan Trematine. Hope J.D. DeVries is watching in Meade County. Hope Kitty gets better. 31-29 here, Tony. 2-point lead for Scott County. And they're going to be out of the left corner. Richardson shot off the rim and rebounded by who else? Jackson Smith. He was a chairman of the boards the other night.
Oh, my goodness.
Between the legs, back to Johnson. That's off the back of the rim. Chasing down and coming up with it is Hamilton. Minute 36.
That's
Hamilton,
a long.
he traveled. He tried that little move he did a while ago. We had 3 steps to the basket. He didn't get. And he
took
get
4 or 5 there.
Yeah, he did.
He got a couple extra there.
Here comes Coffey in, and going out will be.
I'm guessing Aaron Leak has gone to the locker room. He's not on the bench.
Yeah, that I watched him.
Yeah,
he definitely
get it retaped or taped.
Yeah, I probably should have taped that a little tighter. 31-29. Cardinals lead Lexington Catholic by 2 with 1:25 in the first half. Gary Ball with Tony Wise and the King of Stream, William Warfield. The basketball, Ben Johnson stops, trying to give Catholic the lead, falls down, and no call. And there's Smith with it, kicks it out to Goldman. Goldman. It's back out to Ben Johnson. Minute 5. Ben scoops it over now, and Pelfrey.
That's a foul.
And we're going to have a foul called. Pelfrey took it to the basket. See, they called that on.
Hamilton just lowered his shoulder into him. But again, Ben Johnson playing unselfish basketball. He's working really hard. they're making him work for his, but what a great dump off to Pelfrey. Before the shot, yeah, that's a good call.
First foul on Taryn Hamilton. That's a 6-team foul, so Catholic's only committed 3 team fouls, so they're not even close to the bonus.
Pretty well played, clean game so far.
Goldman on the left side for the Knights, and he stepped out of bounds. Stepped on the sideline, and it'll go back to Scott County.
Gary, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I'm a huge believer here at the end of the quarter. If you can break the pressure, and if Lexington Catholic drops back into that 3-2 zone, I would hold for the last shot, because you get the ball coming out at halftime, and this way you only go down at worst, or the worst case scenario, you're up by 2. Aaron Leake coming back on the bench, no limp, he looks okay.
Grigsby yet to cross the timeline, comes over to Coffey, back over to Grigsby, and he's still yet to cross, and they very close to 10 seconds. There's Taryn Hamilton, and he is going to be fouled as he comes down and shaken up a little bit.
Yeah, when you break the press like that, you got to take advantage of that.
So Taryn Hamilton will shoot 2.
For those of you all watching at home, I don't know if you can see Coach Glenn, he kept telling Caleb Coffey to get behind the basketball, because if you get in front of the basketball, that's a very poor angle for you to make that pass. So he was screaming at Caleb Coffey. He finally got far enough back where he could reverse the ball and get it back to Grigsby and break the press.
Hamilton is the game's high scorer for Scott County with 9 now. You've got 9 for Luke Wedding, 7 points for Ben Johnson. 33-29, Scott County by 4. 31 seconds here. Out it comes to Smith. Back now comes to Peyton Pelfrey. Pelfrey. Back to Jack Goldman. 18 seconds. They give it to Ben Johnson. Working on Caleb Coffey. Ben Johnson between the legs. 10 seconds. Ben Johnson. And down low it goes, and there's a shot put up, and no good. And coming out there with it, Scott County on that shot by Russell. And there's a long shot, and that's it. A successful first half for Scott County. They lead by 4, 33-29 over Lexington Catholic. Tony Wise with me, the coach of Franklin County. What adjustments do you see at halftime?
Well, if you're Scott County, I don't know if you make any. The only adjustment I would make is if they go back to that 3-2 zone, I'd like to see a little bit more movement. Maybe some ball screens out front or from the side or on the baseline. As far as Lexington Catholic go, they have a lot of standing going on. I'm not so sure, when you have Rothbauer and Jackson Smith in the game, those are 2 not high-level offensive threats from the perimeter. I wonder if Coach Salzman will put in a 4th scorer and just keep either Rothbauer or Jackson Smith in there, see if they can create some more offense, some more movement. Lots of standing for Lexington Catholic in the first half.
We're at halftime, and the Scott County Cardinals are shocking the Lexington Catholic Knights, #1 team in the RPI in the state. 33-29 here at the 11th Region Final game here at Eastern Kentucky University. We'll come back here with halftime, give you the first half numbers. Big number right now, though. Scott County 33, Lexington Catholic 29. On the Mingy Beef Jerky High School Basketball Game of the Week.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
Over 30,000 Kentuckians are saving time and money by doing their banking online with Whitaker Electronic Banking.
341,000 transactions were made on the go last year using the Whitaker Bank mobile app.
Over 340,000 text alerts were sent last year with Whitaker Bank text banking.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
Hi, this is Gary Ball for Crown Trophy of Lexington. Crown Trophy offers youth sports awards, corporate awards. They offer signs and a full line of promotional products. They're located at 2680 Wilhite Drive on the corner of Nicholasville, New Circle Road, just behind Starbucks. Stop by and pick up your copy of our 85-page catalog. Crown Trophy is nationally known, but locally owned with 150 stores nationwide. Crown Trophy, the official provider of plaques for the Scholastic Ball Report and Prep Spin.
Did you know, in addition to education assistance, UPS now provides housing for qualified employees through the UPS Kentucky Living Options and Opportunities Path, also known as UPS Kentucky Loop. You can work part-time in Louisville, go to school at Jefferson Community and Technical College, and receive housing for up to 2 years. Earn a degree or learn a trade. It's up to you. Loop benefits are available to those who live outside the Louisville metro area, whether you're just starting college or going back to school. It's time to get in the loop. For more information, visit upsjobs.com. That's upsjobs.com.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
Welcome back here to the Alumni Coliseum, Paul S. McBrayer Arena, the home of the Eastern Kentucky University Colonels. Scott County leads at halftime, and you know you can slice it, dice it any way you want to, Coach Wise of Franklin County, but Scott County shot the lights out in the first half.
You know, Gary, some of my goals for the game was can Scott County handle the pressure? Well, we're sitting here at halftime. Scott County only has 5 turnovers, 9 assists, 5 turnovers. Great job of sharing the ball, making the extra pass. The second one was on the glass. Scott County at halftime has a 11-7 total rebound advantage. They have not had an offensive rebound since their first possession, but I find it interesting that 6 kids for Scott County have rebounds, whereas only 3 people for Lexington Catholic have rebounds. They've got to do a better job of gang rebounding. And the three-point line. Scott County has made 5 3-point shots coming in tonight in the regional tournament. They are now 6 for 10 in the first half. 60% from the three-point line, whereas Lexington Catholic is 2 for 6. You know, that's 12 points. That's really the difference in the game, the rebounding and the three-point shooting.
Let's look at the individual marks of this first half. Taryn Hamilton on 3 of 4 shooting, 9 points. He was 1 for 1 from behind the arc. Remember, he got the kind roll. It hit the front of the rim, and it had the right spin on it because it went in the basket. That's all that matters. And you had Elias Richardson had 8 points on 3 of 6 shooting. He was 1 of 3 from three-point. Aaron Leake had 3 points. He hit his only three-pointer he took in the first half. Grigsby was 3 of 4 for 8 points, 2 of 3 behind the arc. As you mentioned, 6 of 10 behind the three-point line for Scott County. McCaleb Coffey, I thought he did a good job on Johnson in that first half defensively.
He just makes you work so hard. You mean, you know, he's out there playing great defense, and all of a sudden Ben Johnson puts the spin move, goes between his legs, and he's past you. You got past him a couple times, but the job he's done has been phenomenal. And, you know, another thing that we've talked about are the X factors. There's always an X factor that comes into play, and Scott County, when they've gotten on this run, Chase Grigsby has played a lot better. You know, he has 8 points, and on the year, you know, he averages 5 points a game, 6 points a game. McCaleb Coffey, as I said earlier, he averages 5.5 on the year, and he's averaging 12.5 in the regional tournament. Now he only has 2 tonight, but the kid also has 2 rebounds, 1 offensive, and 4 assists, and no turnovers.
I think what you're seeing with him tonight is he's giving up his offense for his defense. He's wanting to shut down Ben Johnson.
But he still has 4 assists and an offensive rebound. So, I mean, he's been incredible.
You know as well as I do, you can shut Ben Johnson down for a quarter, a half, but he's going to go off at some point in the basketball game. So if you're Lexington Catholic, you hope that's in the third quarter or the fourth quarter, because Ben Johnson is just too good of a basketball player. Looking at Lexington Catholic, Jackson Smith had 4 points and 4 rebounds on 2 of 2 shooting. I mean, that's why the kid shoots almost 70% from the field. He just doesn't miss. He's 2 for 2 in this ball game. Luke Weddy hit a 3 to start the scoring for Lexington Catholic. He was 3 of 4, had 9 points, 1 rebound. Jack Goman had 7 points on 2 of 4 shooting, also 2 of 2 at the free throw line. And Ben Johnson was 7, 3 of 8 shooting, 0 for 3 from 3, so 7 points. And Ryan Russell had 2 points, a total of 29. It's 33-29 Scott County. As you said, 11-7 advantage for rebounding for Scott County. Free throw shooting, 5 of 6 for the Knights and 3 of 4 for Scott County. Boy, Scott County shot 63% from the field. And, of course, not a bad shooting afternoon or evening, I guess you'd call it. 52%. Remember, tonight the clock's going to move forward tonight, so we lose an hour.
Well, for those of us that, as I've probably made very well known, that like to golf, we like that extra hour of daylight. That's some extra putting practice. But, you know, Gary, you made a good point that, if you're Lexington Catholic, you look at the statistics, you're shooting 33% from the 3. You're 86% from the free throw line, 6 assists, 2 turnovers. You're shooting 52.4%, and you're down 4 points. It's kind of a little bit discouraging, but they have got to guard the 3-point line better, and they've got to rebound the ball better, and that's one of the things that Tim Grin and Brandon Salzman both mentioned in the pregame.
Yeah, they said we have to hit the boards. We'll step out here on PrepSpin.com, the Mingy Beach Jerky Game of the Week. We're at halftime. It's 33-29. Scott County leads Lexington Catholic. We'll be back in a few minutes here on PrepSpin.com.
Sitters are here.
I'm ready. Okay, kids, behave.
Man to man.
I got the little guy.
Oh, did you leave cash for the pizza?
I got it.
With more features than ever.
All right, who's hungry?
Mobile banking from Central Bank lets you deposit checks, pay bills,
Okay, you're gonna get a rip screen.
send and receive funds with Pop Money, and more. So you can stay in the game without missing a step. Do more with mobile banking from Central Bank, official bank of UK Athletics.
Some things never change. Like the sound of pads crushing against the equipment, the feel of cleats on fresh-cut grass, or the deep rest from a full practice. Another thing that never changes, the feeling of relief when the whistle blows for break. And the savory snack to go along with it.
This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingy moment.
At Atkinson Sims and Kermode, we are here to help you get back to what matters most.
Helping you through your financial situation is our only purpose. We are involved at every step, guiding you towards relief.
A better life can't exist after bankruptcy. Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78. Call us today and take the first step towards a new beginning.
We're back here at Alumni Coliseum, about 2.5 minutes away from the start of the second half. And if Billy Hicks is watching out there, we'd like to give him a shout out, the legend of Scott County. 1,000. I can't keep, he won so many games, I can't keep up with it. Coach Wise, how many did he win? 1,000?
I don't know. I'm not sure I've even played or coached combined in 1,000, much less have 1,000 wins. That's just ridiculous.
Of course, he started out at Harlan, I believe.
He's either watching or he's fishing. There's no in between.
Or he might be doing both.
He could be doing both.
He might be fishing and then watching the game here on Prep Spin as well, because we don't charge, but you can hit that donate button. We got a button now. It's what William said was a yellow button.
Yep. You can hit that button and donate.
We've never charged for a ball game on Prep Spin. Never charge anyone. You can watch our games free, but we will take all donations.
Absolutely.
They are definitely possible donations.
William told us before the game, 40 of the 50 states listened in on Thursday night.
Yep.
And including people in Brazil, Canada,
Costa Rica,
and Puerto Rico. I mean, it's free for all of us that aren't here.
Yep.
So
it'll still remain free, but we just like folks to.
It makes his job a lot easier.
Yeah, hit that donate button. We need all the help we can get. And if we're going to continue with this on Prep Spin, Mingy Beef Jerky, we want to thank those folks.
Absolutely.
The Mingy Beef Jerky folks are the title sponsor, and without them, William, without Mingy Beef Jerky, Curtis Mackley, and all the staff over there, Mingy Beef Jerky, not only is it great, it's the best beef jerky on the planet.
Teriyaki.
Not only that, they're great people over there. I mean, they're outstanding people over at Mingy Beef Jerky.
The teriyaki flavor is my favorite.
Yeah, I love the teriyaki. I love the barbecue, too.
Oh, you can't go wrong with either.
William's got some mild here. We'll give that to the coach tonight after the game.
Well, they better hurry up. I'm about to dig into it.
I know, man. I'm getting hungry, too. What are we going to do for dinner, by the way?
I'd be okay if we would stick around here for a couple more hours. This is fun stuff. Gary, looking at the statistics, Lexington Catholic has outscored Scott County 18-10 in the paint. Offensively, do you pound it down inside and make Taryn Hamilton guard instead of letting him clog up the lane like he's done such a wonderful job of in the first half? Also, I don't know. I just have a gut feeling. I saw Scott County play. They were playing in the Lafayette one day Jock Sutherland Classic, but they had to move over to Lexington Catholic, and I was at the game. And Simon Kenton ran against Scott County a 2-2-1 half court, something Catholic I haven't seen them do in a long time. Maybe you fire that out there just to catch Scott County off guard. You never know.
We got a button we've created for donations, so if you want to donate, just go to that button. William's got it graphically produced there on Prep Spin, right, William? So with second half action, and Scott County will start with a basketball, and they also start with a lead of 4 points, 33-29. Grigsby works it across on Goman. Grigsby looking down the left side, and he's going to work it over to Hamilton on the right side of the free throw line extended. Hamilton moves in, gives it over to Coffey, right side. Coffey, baseline jumper, rolls off, and rebounded, pulled down there by Peyton Pelfrey.
Catholic back to man-to-man.
Goman down court, off right side, that won't go. Rebounded by Weddy. He sticks it up and he banks it home.
Talking about rebounding, there's an offensive rebound by Luke Wedding. Man, he's been everywhere tonight.
He has 11 points. He's the game's high scorer. Luke Wedding. Here's a pass to Hamilton. Left side, he hangs. That won't go. Goes back and gets it. And a la Nick Richardson on the backside lays it up and in. He looked just like Nick on that, except he's not 7 feet tall.
That's a grown man rebound and a grown man putback.
35-31. Scott County leading Lexington Catholic here. Ben Johnson trying to get on track. Go back over to him. They throw it behind him now. He gets the basketball on the Coffey on him defensively. Kicks it over to Wedding. He lines up a three. Back of the rim, no. Rebounded by who else? Pelfrey. Good rebound by Pelfrey. In the middle to Jackson Smith.
Catholic with only 3 offensive rebounds. They now have 2, 1 minute in the second half.
Exactly. 6:38 in the third quarter. Johnson to Coffey. Jackson Smith back over to Ben Johnson. He lines up a three-pointer. Got it.
Got his feet set on that one.
10 points now for Ben Johnson. 35-34. Johnson cuts the Scott County lead to 1.
Nobody behind the ball.
Coffee over to Grigsby. A long three off the iron. Rebounded by Ben Johnson.
Not sure that's a shot Scott County wanted that quick, that deep.
Johnson, top of the circle. Pushed out now a little further by Coffee with the left-hand dribble spinning down the lane. Throws it up and it rolls off. Rebounded by Elias Richardson.
Great block out.
Gives now to Chase Grigsby. Grigsby comes over to Coffee. They go over to Aaron Leak on the right side. Leak going in. Now he dribbles it back out.
His ankle looks fine.
Gives it over to Grigsby to Coffee, left side. Down low to Richardson. Richardson hooks
Great
it down low.
Pass.
And a great pass, and Leak lays it up and in. 5 for Leak. 37-34. Catholic down by 1 possession with 5:30 to go in this third quarter. Ben Johnson kicks it over to Pelfrey. Pelfrey back out. It comes now to Jackson Smith. Ben Johnson a three. Rattles it in. Boy, that took the world tour, but it went in, and it's tied at 37 all. Ben Johnson, like we said, 2 big three-pointers here in the third quarter.
Great balance on both those three-point shots.
Leak backs it back out. 5:02 to play in the third quarter. Gary Ball with Tony Wise. William Warfield, the king of string. Give us all the donations you want. Hit that donation button. Probably can't say that enough, can we?
No, absolutely not.
Hamilton throws it up and it rolls off and tapped out. And I think Coffee went up and knocked that one out of bounds.
Taryn Hamilton looking for a foul. I just thought that was great defense by Lexington
Catholic.
Catholic.
A lot of times one's called there, but it was so close. The refs made the right call, I think, not calling it. Luke Wedding, what a game he's had. 11 points. Bodies fall down, throws it up.
Got to be something.
They get it out to Goldman. Goldman drives down, loses a handle on it, and a foul. That's going to go on Elias Richardson.
Well, this is the thing that's frustrating as a coach. Luke Wedding drives in and absolutely runs over Elias Richardson.
Yeah.
If from our angle, the official's kind of in the way. Can't tell if it's a charge or block, but it has to be something.
Something, yeah.
And then you call in the reach foul, which it was a foul, but at the same time, you can't have a train wreck with no call. And that was a lot of contact.
Is that a new term, a train wreck? Goldman missed the second one. He gave the lead to the Knights, though, and it's been a while since they've had the lead. 38-37. Knights by 1. Ben Johnson heating up here in the second half. In the middle it comes to McCaleb Coffey. Comes over now to Aaron Leak. Leak crossing over into the paint area. Throws it up from 10. Rattles out. Boy, that went halfway down. How'd that not go in?
Oh, great hesitation dribble to create space and get the shot off.
Ben Johnson with 13 points. A deep three. That's off the rim. But you know what? I like that shot.
Hey, he's got the freedom to do it, and he shoots with zero conscience, that's for sure.
Well, a shooter can't have any conscience. You got to have amnesia. You got to forget about the last one if you missed it. Think you're going to make the next one. Leak in the front court. Kicks it over now. Hamilton blocked by Pelfrey. Pelfrey said, get that out of here.
You know, Pelfrey with a poor gamble actually defensively, but he stayed in the play and sprinted back and made an unbelievable block on the three-point shot by Taryn Hamilton.
38-37, 3:45 in the third quarter from Alumni Coliseum, McBrayer Arena.
I feel Scott County is kind of teetering a little bit here. I think you really need a quality possession. It wouldn't be in any hurry. Want to get the best shot possible here.
Grigsby trying to clear out Richardson on the left baseline. Back to Grigsby, back over to Leak. Leak will work it on out front there on Pelfrey. Well, what a block by Pelfrey.
Yeah, that was incredible. I'd like to try to get that little baseline screen Scott County runs, get Taryn Hamilton on the block. He's got Ben Johnson on him.
Aaron Leak working on Jackson Smith. Coffee comes over to Elias Richardson. Holds the ball, Johnson on him, Coffee. Pelfrey won Coffee. Out top they come Hamilton. Smith bodying him up. Might have a little bit too much body. And yeah, that's going to be the call. That's going to be a little bit. And Jackson Smith, you know what he was calling for? The old hook.
I think that was a foul. I think he fouled him 2 or 3 times.
Team's first.
Oh, Catholic fell
And
asleep.
good job by Hamilton on the inbound. Stuck it up and in. He's got 13 now.
You know, Catholic runs something very similar, but Ben Johnson will line up on the ball side block, fake out, and come back for the lob.
39-38. Scott County with the lead back after Catholic had it momentarily. Ben Johnson out front to the basket. Kicks it in the corner, Luke Wedding. He goes baseline and puts it up. No. Stuck up Johnson. No. Battle for it. And Coffee on the floor. And we have a foul called on Luke Wedding.
Great job by Chase Grigsby. He took off like he was wanting the fast break, but really had nothing there. Great decision. Picked up a cheap foul on Luke Wedding. Only his second, though.
The girls' state tournament, the Mingy Beef Jerky. Girls' Sweet 16 gets underway Wednesday at Rupp Arena, and then the boys is the 18th. SEC tournament for the men is next week, right? And then NCAA tournaments. They got the NCAA tournament show is what, next Sunday? Not this Sunday, but next?
That's correct. Oh, it's so happening. And so fun this time of March.
You going to have a bracket, Tony Wise?
I usually have about 5, and they stink.
I know, yeah.
I'm not even going to turn the bracket in. I'm just going to turn my $20 in and be done with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
There you go,
right
Taryn
side
Hamilton.
rolls off. Rebounded by Wedding. Well, Wedding's done a good job on the boards for Lexington Catholic.
Yeah, at that angle, I like to see Hamilton use the glass there, but I like giving it to him down low.
Ben Johnson kicks it over to Goldman, left side. Back it comes to Smith. On him defensively is Breadwood.
Got him open.
Wedding. And kicks it back. Try to Smith. Ben Johnson says, I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Hey,
Minute 52.
Breadwood had a chance to jump on that as a loose ball and chose not to.
Good pass. Blocked by Hamilton. Came over and blocked that shot.
Great penetration, great pass, great cut, better defense.
And there's going to be a foul on Wedding. That's going to be his third as he fouls Aaron Leak.
I think Luke Wedding had an opportunity if he stood there to draw the charge. Leak was a little out of control and leaning forward, but chose to block the shot and popped him right in the head.
Third foul on Luke Wedding, and minute 39 in the third, and Brandon Salzman's going to go with him.
Do you feel, Gary, that Scott County's kind of weathered that first little Catholic run and they've regained the lead and can go up by 3 here with Leak making a second free throw?
Johnson and Wedding have 24 points, 13 and 11. Wedding does go to the Catholic bench.
Russell just came in for him.
Free throw connected there by Leak. He has 7.
Two great free throw shooting teams.
Yeah, 41-38. Cardinals by 3.
It's not ironic that two great free throw shooting teams are playing on March the 7th.
In the regional championship. Smith gives to Ben Johnson. He lines up to 3, front of the iron, no. Battle for it, and jump ball called, and possession arrow will keep it to Lexington Catholic. They'll retain possession.
Jackson Smith all over the offensive glass.
Coffee back in, and out will be Breadwood. Ryan Russell will be the trigger man for Lexington Catholic. They like to run an inbound here to get it over to Goman on the right side. To Ben Johnson. Ben, baseline, cut off. Good defense there by.
Great defense by Caleb Coffee.
Goman, crossover to the basket, no. Tapped up, no, and rebounded by Taryn Hamilton, and a foul call.
Tell you what, that was an unbelievable play. Another underused move. Jack Goman, a little inside-out dribble, just froze Aaron Leak and just missed the little 5-foot runner, but unbelievable individual move.
Leak looking to get it in play. Goes to Coffee. He touches it back to Leak. Leak runs down the side court. Grigsby, and he is going to be fouled, and that's going to go on Ryan Russell.
I believe Catholic, they just picked up their 15th foul. I know there's a minute left. I'd call timeout and just kind of settle my guys down a little bit. They looked a little frazzled at this moment.
62 seconds in the third quarter. Scott County leads. They led by 4 at halftime, 33-29. They lead by 3 here with a minute to go in the third. Grigsby. Well, he's played well. Gives it to Elias Richardson down low. And we're going to have a travel call. Turn it over. Tim Glenn's going to let the official know what he thinks of that call. He doesn't like it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd isolate Richardson on Jackson Smith, Lexington Catholic's best post defender.
Goldman. Very slowly, methodically works it across the line. Gives to Ben Johnson. Free throw line. Turns around on Coffee. Spinning to the basket. Looking. Gets back out to Goldman.
See, this is where Rothbauer isn't an offensive threat. Hamilton's able to help out there.
Ryan Russell. Back to Ben Johnson. A deep three. That's off the mark. Rebounded by Rothbauer. Puts it up and in. He'll get the soup and the sandwich. And he can tie this ball game up.
Hamilton missed the block out on Rothbauer, and that's part of it. If you play off of him because he's not an outside offensive threat, you still got to recover and block out. He did not, and picked up a cheap foul. Cheap as in it was a foul. He pushed him right in the back.
Missed the free throw. I would have tied it up. 41-40. Scott County, Lexington Catholic. 12 seconds. In backcourt is Leak, and we're going to have a Coach Salzman calling for a turnover.
Timeout, Coach Glenn. I know that's using a timeout with only 9.4 seconds to go, but you cannot take the risk of Catholic turning you over here and taking the lead going the fourth quarter. You get the ball first coming out the fourth quarter, so retain possession, get 2 possessions. Such a fun game.
It's been tight throughout, hasn't it?
It's the way it should be in the regional final.
And we've got a good crowd in here. It's not capacity, but not a bad crowd in here, Tony.
Now for Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock, should be some happy UK fans today.
They won by 1 point over Florida, 71-70. And what a second half by Nick Richards, had 19 points. Quickly fouled out.
I'm pretty sure Cal and Nick Richards had pretty much a serious one-sided conversation at halftime, and he definitely got the message.
Coffee gets it in play to Chase Grigsby. Grigsby gives it back to Caleb Coffee. Left side down to 3 seconds. Throws it to Hamilton. Three-pointer out front. Knocks it down.
He got him a clean look.
That's 16 for Hamilton. So we head to the final quarter. Lexington Catholic 44. Scott County 44. Lexington Catholic 40. We'll be back with the fourth quarter here on PrepSpin.com.
Did you know, in addition to education assistance, UPS now provides housing for qualified employees through the UPS Kentucky Living Options and Opportunities Path, also known as UPS Kentucky Loop. You can work part-time in Louisville, go to school at Jefferson Community and Technical College, and receive housing for up to 2 years. Earn a degree or learn a trade. It's up to you.
We're back here. Well, what a big three-pointer by Hamilton, top of the circle in the third quarter.
Well, give a high five to Coach Tim Glenn for calling that timeout to save that possession.
Grigsby over to Hamilton. He gives it back now to Caleb Coffey. 44, 47, 45 to play, and there's a foul called. That goes on Wedding. That'll be his fourth.
Well, I tell you what, another great coaching call by Coach Tim Glenn. Hamilton gave it up with Wedding on him, and the whole bench is screaming to give it back to him. And Hamilton went to work on Wedding, got him his fourth foul.
Sure did. And look at the third quarter stats there. Tony missed the free throw. Hamilton leads everybody with 16. Ben Johnson has 13.
Well, both teams really cooled off. Scott County 4 for 11 in that quarter, 1 for 3 from the three. Lexington Catholic only 4 for 15.
Shout out to Keith Greiser watching and Luke.
2 big misses there.
Missed them both, 44-40. Ben Johnson spinning like a top. Good pass down low. Rothbauer block. by Coffee, I believe. Yeah, Coffee got a piece of that one.
Scott County has always seemed to have a kid about that size, about that build, that just guards you to death and is just an unsung hero.
Pass down to Ben Johnson, and it's blocked by Hamilton.
That's what you like to see out of Taryn Hamilton. Just take over the paint, nothing easy.
Ben Johnson looking for the entry pass. Coffee on him. Fires it out of the left side. In front of the iron, no. And battle for it. Grigsby's got it. He's got a bust out. Goldman gets back, though, and cuts him off.
Good choice.
Grigsby, wanting to run some clock. 7:15 to play in the fourth quarter. 44-40. Scott County by 4. Grigsby right side short and rebounded by Rothbauer.
Got it. Taryn Hamilton needs touches. He's in a groove. You got to get him the ball.
Right side, Smith up and in on the pass from Goldman.
Nobody stopped the basketball. First rule in transition defense.
6:55 to play, 44-42. This one's going down to the wire. I don't think there's any doubt about it, Tony Wise. Hit that donation button if you've enjoyed this broadcast. And almost a steal, and it is a steal as Russell knocked it off of Coffee, they say.
Yeah, great read by Ryan Russell coming off that back line to get a touch and a deflection off Coffee.
Gary Ball with Tony Wise, Franklin County's head coach, and William Warfield, the king of string, controls down here, making it all happen. Jackson Smith back to the basket, now gives it to Ben Johnson. Ben backing down, out it comes, and there's a three-pointer. That's off the mark, rebounded by Hamilton. 6'6", boy, it helps to be 6'6" and play high school basketball. Yeah. Hamilton down the lane, a jumper, and knocks it down. 18 now for Hamilton. He's the game's high scorer. 6:05 to play, 46-42. Ben Johnson on the baseline, backs up and knocks it down. That is 15 now for Ben Johnson. The lead is 2. 6 minutes to play in this, under 6 minutes. And that's a 30-second timeout. Tony, take a look at those third quarter stats.
Yeah, again, Scott County just 4 of 11. Lexington Catholic 4 of 15, 2 of 6 from the 3. On the game entering the fourth quarter, Lexington Catholic 15 of 36 for only 41.7%. And even with the poor shooting third quarter, Scott County is still shooting 53.3 from the floor, 53.8 from the line. Lexington Catholic, 6 offensive rebounds in the third quarter to keep this game within a 1 or 2 possession game. Looking forward to these last 6 minutes, Gary. Ben Johnson is trying to take over. Now, if you're Lexington Catholic, you really don't want to stand and watch him try to do everything.
That was a tough shot. He had to hit a fadeaway jumper from the baseline, and he had to be fading away to
great job by just creating his own space and creating his own jumper.
46-44. Into Coffee. Now comes back to Leak. Over to Hamilton, left side. He kicks it back to Leak, and there's a turnover, and Ben Johnson comes up with a steal.
Thought he had a shot if he'd have hit the pull-up jumper there.
Ben Johnson spinning, and with the left hand, lays it up, no, and rebounded. Coming down, they try to shovel it back down, and there's going to be a foul on Richardson.
That is a very bad call. The official was blocked out. Richardson got all ball. A very similar play down here on the other end was a steal. I don't see how you can make that call when you're blocked out like that. But Rothbauer has to take advantage of it.
That's right, Ian Rothbauer. He has had a great season for Lexington Catholic. 6'3" junior. And he misses the free throw.
I don't know. He doesn't look comfortable at the
charity stripe.
At the free throw line at all.
Second one. Got it. Ian Rothbauer makes it a 1-point ball game. 46 Scott County, 45 Lexington Catholic. 5:37 to play in this ball game from Alumni Coliseum. Full court press, 2-2-1 variety by Lexington Catholic. Grigsby in backcourt, lobs it to Hamilton. Down low, Coffee, and he puts it up and in, and he's fouled.
It makes it nice to break pressure when you can throw it up to 6'6", and 6'6" can catch it and throw it from about 9 feet. Great cut by Coffee, great pass by Hamilton for the and one.
5:20. Yep. Coffee averaging, just as you mentioned, has been averaging, 12 in the tournaments.
Yeah, he's
only 5 points on the regular season.
He has taken it to another level.
Free throw is good for Coffee. He completes the three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, he was a transfer from Tates Creek. He's become a huge part of what Scott County's done and big part of them getting here.
49-45. Tates Creek made the Final Four. Ben Johnson back to the basket. Cutter through, Rothbauer puts it up and in on the right side. Rothbauer.
Again, Hamilton helping off.
What a pass.
Yeah, he's lost Rothbauer 3 or 4 times now on the offensive glass and cutting to the basket.
And Ben Johnson's going to find you. Here they go to Hamilton on the left side. Hamilton comes back to Coffee, 49-47. 4:52 to go in this ball game. Grigsby working out front on Goldman. Goes now to Hamilton. Hamilton, a jumper, no good, and Coffey's going to be fouled from behind by Ben Johnson. That's his second.
Scott County's got opportunity here to get to the free throw line.
Because that's 18 fouls against Lex Cath. They've only committed 3 team fouls. They got a few more to give.
Absolutely. Scott County's got a while to put Catholic into the bonus.
Coffey's free throw got it.
And McCaleb Coffey heading in today only shoots 48.8% from the line. So percentages would say he's going to miss this one.
Got them both.
But that's 3 for 3.
Yep. 51-47, 4:39 in this regional championship at Eastern Kentucky. Johnson spinning down low, off glass, up and in. It's good, and he'll get the soup and the sandwich.
I think that's the first time this half where Scott County has not played great team defense. They did not rotate over. Richardson had to go out. You got Jeremy Hamilton. He kind of froze in his tracks, as did his brother Taryn Hamilton, and Ben Johnson with a chance for a three-point play.
And he uncharacteristically missed the free throw. He's a great
2 today.
Yeah, he's a great free throw shooter. 51-49, 2-point lead. Leak gets it down court now to Hamilton. Hamilton goes baseline, gets it back to Coffey, and he throws it up, and it goes in, and he's fouled.
And now that. Okay, so what happened is it looked like a lot of ball from here, but when you have so many hands smacking at a shooter, that usually gets called. And Ben Johnson with a reaction that sent Scott County's bench into pandemonium over there. Not sure what he said or did.
And Coffey cannot miss free throws. A 48% free throw shooter. 54-49. That's what you want in a regional title game. Ben Johnson. Over comes to Russell, gives it back to Ben. 4:05 to play. 5-point lead for Scott County. Pass in the corner, and we're going to say back to Catholic on the good defense there by
That was close. Grigsby with a great help, getting a hand on it.
I thought it was Leak.
Richardson back in the game for Hamilton, going with the experience.
Goldman. Ben Johnson throws up one from the right side. They get it back to Rothbauer. Grigsby's got it, and he is going to be, what are they going to call here?
He called timeout.
Timeout. So 3:49 to play. Brandon Salzman's got to be calmed down by his coaches. 3:49. It's Scott County 54, Lexington Catholic 49.
I don't know, Gary. I couldn't see if he called timeout or not, but if he did, there was really nothing else there. Lexington Catholic had a great trap on him. It's only opportunity he had. Okay, so watching the replay, I guess his back was to the official. The only thing I can think of as he's falling down is calling a timeout. And from here, we obviously can't hear that or see that. So, but the official came out immediately and said timeout. So there had to be something there. Gary, something you want to look at here heading into this last 3 minutes and 49 seconds. The next Lexington Catholic foul.
Yeah, double bonus.
The next Lexington Catholic foul, double bonus. And as he's falling down, he did call timeout. William showed us. I mean, is there anybody better than William Warfield?
No.
You people need to donate. Let's keep this free thing going here on Prep Spin.
3:49. It's 54-49. Scott County by 5. These teams met back in early December, one of the early games of the year. Lexington Catholic prevailed by 12 points, I believe it was.
Well, you know what? Gary, Scott County shoots 76% from the line on the year, so every double bonus from here on out.
Leak, trouble getting in, stolen by Johnson. Ben to the basket, and he puts it up and in. That's 19 for Johnson. Here's a pass, Grigsby, and that's going to be foul on Johnson. That's going to be four on Ben Johnson.
That was right in front of us. There wasn't a whole lot of contact there. I think that one you let play on. But again, now Scott County's in the double bonus, and they're shooting 2 the rest of the way. And
Grigsby, a 73% free throw shooter. Chase Grigsby. He has 8 points in this game, but he hasn't scored in the second half.
But you know what he's done, Gary? He's done an excellent job of running the offense. I think he took one quick shot. Other than that, he's played an outstanding floor game.
So Ben Johnson's got to watch out. He's got 4 fouls. But it's both free throws connected by Grigsby, but you know he knows that.
Oh, absolutely.
So here comes Ben Johnson, 56-51. Coffee. And we're going to have a timeout called by Lexington Catholic with 3:31 to play. A lot of time left in this game. Scott County, 32nd timeout.
I really like the timeout by Brandon Salzman. You know, whether that's a foul or not, give or take here or there. But at the same time, Catholic really needs a score here. So I really applaud Brandon Salzman. Take the timeout, take your time, get a good set here, get you a good clean look.
Henry Clay fell in the district tournament. Bourbon County fell in their district. What other teams around the state, Tony, highly ranked?
Bourbon County.
Yeah, we mentioned Bourbon.
Yeah, Bourbon County.
I think males.
Well, I mean, you know, the 6 and the 7s are like the 11th. They just beat the heck out of each other. So there's really no upsets.
So Catholic looking to put it in play. Rothbauer gives it to Goldman. Out top, Jackson Smith. He bounces over now to Rothbauer. Back to Jackson Smith, down low to Ben Johnson. Ben hangs.
Great defense.
Blocked by Coffee. And
there's no foul there. That's great defense by McCaleb Coffee.
Ben thought there was a foul. So Ben Johnson will trigger it.
He's gonna step right in, post up. Great read by Coffee to cut that off.
Goldman comes out top now to Jackson Smith. Over it comes now to Johnson. And we're going to have a foul called as Ben worked it down to the lane. A foul called there.
You know, Ben Johnson's trying to take over the game for Lexington Catholic, but he's got to be real careful when a Scott County defender rotates over with those 4 fouls. You know, one little push off and.
Goldman down to Ben Johnson. Back to Goldman, lines up the 3. That's off the mark and rebounded. Down low, put up and won't go. And then Hamilton comes down with a rebound. Ben Johnson trying to tie him up. And then they call another foul on Ben. That'll be his 5th.
I think it's on Jackson Smith.
On Jackson Smith, you're right.
Goldman with a good clean look, just kind of went in and out. Got the offensive rebound. Luke Wedding getting ready to come back in with those 4 fouls.
56-51. Still waiting to see who they gave that foul to.
Jackson Smith.
Free throw connected by Hamilton.
That's just, as hard as that kid plays, that's just his first foul on the day.
19 now for Taryn Hamilton.
Now what Lexington Catholic doesn't need to do, because their pressure is so good in the full court, is you don't need to come down and have bad possessions, empty possessions, or poor shot possessions.
Hamilton got them both. And he's got 20 points now.
I don't think they've missed a free throw in the second half.
Ben Johnson down the lane to the basket and blocked by Coffey. Come out there with it. Coffey got it from Hamilton. 58-51. Pass in the middle. Grigsby gets it up over to Aaron Leak. Back it comes to Hamilton.
I'd isolate Hamilton in the block. I know there's only 2.5 minutes ago. I'm going right at Ben Johnson.
The course of this game, now I know why Coach Glenn was talking about a guard, Taryn Hamilton, in college, because he's handled the ball most of the time. He's been a relief foul.
Absolutely. Luke Wedding with 4 fouls, trying to guard Aaron Leak.
Grigsby. Back it comes. 58-51. Tim Glenn telling him what to do up on the bench. And that foul is going to be on the Wedding.
I don't know what Luke Wedding was doing there. He had to know he had 4 fouls.
So he fouls out with 2:06 to play. And Wedding with 11 points. Most of those in the first half.
Well, he's been strapped with foul trouble. Like I said, he had to know he had 4 fouls. I don't know what he was doing, and put an excellent free throw shooter.
83%. Got it. (59-51). Lexington Catholic trailing Scott County by 8. And the free throw is good. Leak hit them both, and we're going to have a timeout. Brandon Salzman. 60-51. Scott County leads Lexington Catholic by 9 points, 2:06. 20 points for Manning, 10 points for Grigsby, 10 points for Coffey, but that doesn't tell you the story about Michaela Coffey.
No, not at all. But you look at Lexington Catholic scoring. On the board in the game, you got Johnson with 19. You've got Goman with 8. Pelfrey doesn't have any. Jackson Smith with 6. Rothbauer with only 5. Then you look at Scott County scoring. You got Leak with 9. You've got Grigsby with 10. Taryn Hamilton leading the way, game high 20 points. Coffey with 10. Richardson with 8. So, I mean, you almost have 5 guys in double figures. And this is why Scott County is sitting right here with a golden opportunity to go to Rupp Arena for the 4th year in a row, up 9 with 2:06 to go.
This reminds me of another 11th region team that was coached by Donnie Atkins that entered the district tournament with like a 500 record, but they got hot at the right time, and they rode it all the way to the state championship.
Well, Gary, you and I have talked about it. The 11th region has a great draw. So, if Scott County can hang on here, they can make some noise here in 2 weeks in Rupp Arena.
2:06 to play. So still time for Catholic when you got a Ben Johnson out there. Ben across the line. Coffey on him. Out front sets a pick. Ben Johnson takes it, kicks it over left side, and there is a three-pointer that won't go. Ben Johnson battling, and he is going to be fouled, and that is going to be the 6th team foul against Scott County. So the next foul will be the bonus for Lexington Catholic.
The foul on Richardson, only his 2nd. Scott County, and no one with 4 fouls.
Russell back to Ben Johnson out front. Somebody should be setting a pick for him. Ben, and working there on Coffey, and that's going to be called. So this will send a 88% free throw shooter to the line. But Ben Johnson hasn't, hit his usual free throws. He's missed. I think 3.
He's missed 2 today that I remember.
Free throw rolls in there.
These are 2 big ones here. Now, I would expect Lexington Catholic to really, really pick up the pressure for obvious reasons. Game is definitely not over.
Johnson got them both, and he's got 21 points now. And checking in will be Colson Perry. Going out will be Goman.
Yep. Perry coming in for Goman. Offense to defense substitution.
Pass in the middle, and
turnover.
Goes out of bounds as Leak. And Grigsby says, pats his chest and that's my fault.
Well, Aaron Leak was right. He told him, he threw the pass down at his shins, and it's hard to catch it on the full run. He told him to throw it at his chest. I've always tell my guys, throw it at their face. Don't miss it one time. They won't miss it after that.
If it hits you in the face, you're going to be aware, aren't you? Ben Johnson out front. Minute 36, spinning. Kicks it over to Pelfrey. Back to Johnson, a long three. That's off the mark. Rebounded by Hamilton. And he is going to be tied up. No, it's going to be stolen. Laid off to Pelfrey. He lays it up and in. What a job there by the defense.
Yeah.
I thought
Jackson
there
Smith
was a foul call.
just took the ball, ended up on the ground, gave it to Pelfrey for the easy basket, 60-55. There is tons of time left with Lexington Catholic's pressure. They're never out of a game. You got an electric player like Ben Johnson. Scott County has had 2 possessions. They had the turnover in front of us and then the turnover under the basket. They have not crossed half court in about 30 seconds. So they've had a lot of success on that side. They just got to get the ball past half court.
As I said, I think the key is to get it to Taryn Hamilton because
well, they've had, it's funny you say that, Gary. Scott County's had a lot more success against the press when they've thrown long diagonals or long sideline passes, and you've got 2 great athletes over there in, Hamilton and Richardson can go up and make a play in the air. So
Ben Johnson, he's on track to be the all-time leading scorer at Lexington Catholic.
You really can't go take Ben Johnson out with 4 fouls because if you have a change of possession, you've got to have him on the floor for offense.
Perry in there working on pass goes inbounds, and we're going to have Goldman with a reach in.
He had him wrapped. That's one of those pass interference calls that the whole stadium doesn't see. They just see the pass break up. Had his left arm around his back.
He hooked him. A minute 21. That will send a 48% free throw shooter to the line.
5 for 5s right now.
But he hasn't been 48% today.
Oh,
he's been 100%.
He's been money. 5 for 5 here in the 4th quarter.
Coffee, the transfer from Tates Creek. 60-55, and that's back of the rim too strong.
2 things that don't lie, Gary: video and statistics. At some point, it's got to balance out. And give the young man credit; he stepped up. This is a big free throw for obvious reasons.
Video and statistics, and it's in and out. Here comes Johnson. A minute 19. Been down court, gets a pick. Slices to the basket, dumps it down low, and it's shot put up and in by Russell. 3 points, a 1-possession ball game. Coffee back to the relief valve. Hamilton gets it in the middle to Grigsby. Comes over to Aaron Leak. Leak gets it back there. They're obviously looking for Hamilton.
By Scott County.
Hamilton, he's going to be fouled by Jackson Smith.
I'm not sure why you fouled that quick. You kind of got Scott County on their heels. They've had a couple turnovers, a couple missed free throws here. I'm going to at least get one trap and see what happens here. Plenty of time left.
So, Taryn Hamilton, an 83% free throw shooter.
Nope.
Too strong. So
they
missed their last 3 free throws.
Barely cut the tension with a knife. It's good stuff.
And he got that one. 61-57. Ben Johnson.
Scott County a little pressure of their own, make them work to get it to Ben Johnson.
Get it back to Ben.
Oh, they're doubling him.
Double team on him. Ben Johnson, right side, gets it back, penetrates. Ben down low, fade away, off the mark, rebounded by Hamilton, and he's tied up, and we're going to have a foul call. No, he's not. He's fouled there.
Yeah, I think Ben Johnson tried to do just a little too much there. That was a heavily contested shot. Now Taryn Hamilton with a great rebound now goes back to the line.
Lexington Catholic 31-2. Scott County 18-16 coming in.
11-13 at one point.
Yeah, had a losing record. Free throw connected by Deuce.
And again, down 7 with a minute and a half to go in the district semifinals, and here they are.
The big guy has 22 points.
Yeah, he's been a stud today.
In and out.
Another one.
40 seconds to play.
Get your first good look. Don't necessarily need a 3.
Down the lane, kicks it over in the corner. There's a three by Russell off the mark. Ben Johnson with the rebound, puts it up and in. He's got 23, and he wanted a foul called. 62-59. They're upset about something. What are they upset about, Tony?
They wanted a foul, but I didn't see a foul there. Great offensive rebound. You know, Ben Johnson has made some plays. He made a great dribble penetration there, kicked it out to Ryan Russell. And Ryan Russell's had 2 clean looks. He's a really good shooter. Hasn't been able to make him, but Ben Johnson bails him out by getting the rebound. Ryan Russell, a 35% free throw shooter on the season. Just watch the replay. Not a whole lot of contact there. You really wouldn't want to see him make that call. But Lexington Catholic, okay, let's talk strategy. Lexington Catholic has 0 timeouts left, so now you cannot stop the clock.
Both teams are in the bonus, of course.
Scott County in the double bonus.
Yep.
If I'm Lexington Catholic here, obviously you're going to turn up the pressure. I'm going to force them to get it across half court, and then I'm going to foul. With 27.9 seconds to go, I'm going to force them to beat the pressure and not bail them out by fouling first thing.
Scott County, this would be what, the 4th consecutive year they win the 11th region? Moreno's in the house. Coffee, trouble getting it in. Trouble, that should be 5 seconds. He just got the timeout.
He had just counted 4.
Yeah, and Coffee knew that.
I think Scott County should have 2 timeouts left.
That's a full timeout.
1 timeout left. I apologize. So Scott County now in a situation with only 1 timeout left. He can still run the baseline even though they've called timeout because it's after a made basket and the clock has not started yet. So
if you've enjoyed this broadcast on PrepSpin, hit that donate button. We do not. You never charge. We never charge for to watch a game on PrepSpin. Never ever. But I tell you what, you can help us out a lot when you hit that donate button there. Just go to PrepSpin and you'll see that yellow button.
Catholic with a great job last time, almost causing the 5-second call. If I'm Scott County, I'm probably at some point going to send McCaleb Coffee deep. And if Catholic falls asleep, then you hit him. If you don't, you get your worst free throw shooter down the other end of the floor and you create space to get the ball to your better free throw shooters.
A lot of time left in this game, almost 28 seconds.
Oh, could be 10 possessions.
So Ben Johnson will be the relief valve. You got a good defender. And
they got McCaleb Coffee taking the ball out of bounds, and Richardson's all the way down the other end of the floor.
Coffee throws it to Hamilton, and he's going to be fouled from behind by Goldman. That only takes 2 seconds off the clock, and this will send a 83% free throw shooter to the line.
But he's missed a couple here. Great inbounds play. Hamilton basically just posted him up 30 feet out.
Yeah.
And McCaleb Coffee threw a little fade pattern right over top of his head.
Like a quarterback. And he missed the free throw.
3 misses.
So Catholic only 1 possession down. If he hits this free throw, it would be 2 possessions.
Even though you don't have any timeouts left, there's plenty of time. You don't have to take an ill-advised 3. Attack the basket.
Knocks it down.
Even down 4, attack the basket. If you get an inside-out 3, great. Otherwise, try to get to the free throw line and get the clock stopped.
Ben Johnson, Coffee on him. Down the lane, backs up and lines up the 3 off the mark. And saved in and goes off the knee of a Catholic player.
Jackson Smith actually with a great hustle play and threw it off his own guy. I think I'd run the same play, but Richardson, they're trying to tell him to get back.
So McCaleb Coffee gets it into Grigsby, and he's going to be fouled immediately by Rothbauer. So Grigsby, a 73% free throw shooter. 63-59.
You're already at 2 possession game, and Lexington Catholic has 0 timeouts left. Now, I know this might sound crazy, but if I'm Lexington Catholic and I score with under 10 seconds to go, and cut it to 2 or 3 points, I'm still calling the timeout. You got to you got to stop the clock. You can't just let the clock run out.
Grigsby nails his 11th point. He's got 11. Leake's got 9. 23 for Hamilton. 10 for Richardson. 8 in the game for. And rattles it in. 2 big free throws. 15.3 seconds. Here comes Johnson. Over comes Russell. Lines up a 3. Off the mark. Tracked down over there by Jackson Smith. And here's Ben Johnson. That's an air ball. And rebounded. They're going to shoot one out of the left side. Good. And it's over. Scott County has shocked the world, upsetting Lexington Catholic, the #1 team in the state in the RPI, 65-62. That three-pointer out of the corner, that did count.
Yeah, you know, they finally got a shot to fall. Just happened a little too much too late. What a great effort by these Scott County kids to be sitting at 11 and 13 and easily could have been eliminated in the district semifinals to go to Rupp Arena for the 4th straight year.
4th straight year, and they win at 65-62. And, you know, a little uncharacteristic there. Ben Johnson usually is money late in the game, but he wasn't today for a Catholic. He couldn't get any of those threes to go late.
Well, the bottom line is what Scott County did defensively, the team defense, is they kept tearing Hamilton and guys guarding Rothbauer and Jackson Smith. They stood in the lane and dared those guys to beat them. Now they got burned a couple times, but at the same time, you know, Catholic had some clean looks there in the second half, especially in the 4th quarter. And they, you know, you got to make them. We talk about the X factors. Scott County was not going to let Ben Johnson beat them. And unfortunately for Lexington Catholic, some of those clean looks they got just didn't fall.
So we'll have the trophy presentations, and Lexington Catholic, what a tremendous season. 31-3, and they bow out of the 11th final to Scott County. Scott County wins it for the 4th year in a row, 65-62. Ben Johnson, he'll be the front runner for Mr. Basketball next year. He had 23 points in this one, but I tell you what, he earned every bit of it.
McCaleb, I'm going to be honest with you now. Taryn Hamilton is probably going to get the MVP because of the numbers he put up. But I saw 2 of the 3 games in the regional tournament, and I'm not so sure with what McCaleb Coffey has done in scoring 32 points in 3 games, doubling his season average, and the fact that he guarded and shut down Amari Taylor to 1 for 9 shooting. And then, you know, Ben Johnson got 23, which is 2 below his average, but you know, Ben Johnson took 29 shots to get those 23 points. You'll take that every day if you're a Scott County County fan. 2 of 13 from the 3.
Yeah, Ben was 2 of 13 from 3, 9 for 29, so he missed 20 shots. So
Catholic 5 for 23 from the 3. Scott County, you know, we talked about the first half. They were 6 for 10.
Yeah.
They were 1 for 3 in the 3rd quarter and did not take a 3 in the 4th quarter.
But most importantly for them, they shot 28 free throws. That's twice as many as Catholic shot. They shot 14, hit 9 of them, and Scott County 20 of 28.
Well, you know, here's the crazy stat. Lexington Catholic took 62 shots. 62 shots. So, and Scott County took 35. Well, how does that happen? Well, first of all, Scott County had 11 turnovers. And also, at halftime, Lexington Catholic had 3 offensive rebounds. They had 16 offensive rebounds in the second half. That's 16 extra possessions. That's where you shoot 27 more shots. And 23 of their 62 shots are from 3. So Scott County only takes 3 3-pointers in the second half, so they're driving the ball, and they got to the free throw line. So if you're looking at how you figure out, well, how does a team shoot more double the free throws that the other team shot, that explains it right there.
Taryn Hamilton not only did he have 23 points, he had 10 rebounds, so he had a double-double. He also had 2 blocks, 5 block shots for the Scott County Cardinals. They prevail 65-62 over Lexington Catholic Catholic 5 of 23 from three-point, 7 of 13 from three-pointer for Scott County. So you're right, Tony. They just refused to lose in this ball game, and I think it was a great defensive effort by the entire Scott County team, but most importantly by Caleb Coffey.
Yeah, and like we mentioned before, the fact that,
Here's the all-tournament team.
You can put a 6'6" kid in the paint like Taryn Hamilton and really help out on the dribble penetration was huge. There was really not a whole lot of places for Ben Johnson to go, which is, he takes 13 of his 29 shots from three.
That's right.
But I have to say, you got Tim Glenn replacing a guy that's won 1,000 games. A lot of people might think, well, he's been the JV coach. He has no experience or anything like that. But at the same time, he is sat on the bench, even though you move over from the second to left seat to the left seat. There's a whole lot of crap between those first two seats. Let me tell you, because I've been in both of them. But the job that he has done by moving over there, and he's participated and coached in several big time games. So I don't think Scott County looked frazzled at all. They were comfortable playing Catholic. At the same time, you can't say enough to play in the 11th region and win 31 games and beat the teams that you beat as a Lexington Catholic Knight, and the job Brandon Salzman did with this group here has been, I know that this is going to stick with them for a long time because that's who we are as coaches and as players. But I think when they reflect back, they'll appreciate the things that they accomplished and the teams that they beat during the season. And it just kind of, it stinks at the fact that they just fell one game short of possibly winning the state championship. But moving forward, Gary, Scott County has a great opportunity to make some noise.
Yeah, they do. They really do. Ben Johnson, Twombly there from Frankfort made the all-tournament team.
Should have. Zach Cox from Scott County. Ben Johnson.
Zach Cox from
plays for me at Franklin County.
Yeah.
He had 17 against Lexington Catholic. Aaron Leak on the all-tournament team.
Josh DeToit made it from Creek. Amari Taylor, he's not here, so they'll give him So the championship, this one will shock the world. 65-62 by Scott County over Lexington Catholic. A prohibitive favorite in this region.
Especially after Henry Clay went down.
Yes, and a prohibitive favorite to maybe win the state championship at Rupp Arena.
I think it depends on who gets there. On Wednesday, like we talked about, the 11th plays the 13th, and the first plays the 10th. You could have a second round matchup of Zion Harmon against Scott County.
Now, who's he play for?
Marshall County. And you bet
they got beat, didn't they?
They get beat today? No, I think they won today. But if you haven't seen McCracken County play, they're really good.
Yeah, I was just teasing you about Zion
figured
Harmon.
You would.
He's a good player.
And in the other bracket up there on Wednesday in the upper bracket, you've got Madisonville, North Hopkins, the second region. You've got the fourth region in Bowling Green. You've got the fifth region in John Hardin. Man, Wednesday's going to be fun to watch.
Coffey makes the all-tournament team.
Yeah, like I said, I understand completely Taryn Hamilton getting the MVP statistically, but I think if you ask the coaching staff and anybody on that team, that's your MVP right there for the job he did. And that's not to say Taryn Hamilton does not deserve the MVP. That's not what I'm saying.
He had a double-double.
He had 16 rebounds Thursday night. So
yeah, and 19 points.
But my point is, Caleb Coffey, they ask him to do so much in this regional. So
yeah, let's try to get a couple players over here and Coach Glenn and talk to them on the post game as they win at 65-62.
Turn. And now for the presentation of trophies for the runner-up of the 11th Region Boys Basketball Tournament for 2020, Lexington Catholic High School.
Taryn Hamilton joins us, and Taryn, you were the relief valve there on that pressure defense, and you had a double-double. I mean, every time Scott County, they came down court, they were looking for you to get the basketball.
I was just playing my hardest, doing everything I could to help my team win and stuff like that.
So, Taryn, let me ask you about your defense assignment. They put you on Rothbauer, and him not being an offensive threat, you were able to stay in the lane and cut off Ben Johnson's penetration. I assume that was the obvious game plan there, right?
Yes, it was. I was there for help defense and to do everything I could to stop him and to help Caleb stop him.
Go celebrate with your team.
Yeah, go have fun, man.
Go have fun. So Taryn Hamilton, the MVP, appreciate him, and we're going to try to get Coach Glenn as well, Tim Glenn. Let's step out and take a break here. We'll come back and we'll have Coach Tim Glenn as Scott County celebrates 65-62. We'll come back and we'll grab Tim Glenn of Scott County.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
Whitaker Bank supports 956 Kentucky charities and community events.
Employees of Whitaker Bank volunteered 14,860 hours to better our Kentucky communities.
93 nonprofits that promote diversity and inclusion in Kentucky are supported by Whitaker Bank.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
I'll get him. Just come back.
And we're back here as Scott County has the huddle going out at mid-court. And Tim Glenn, they're going to do the, I think, post-game prayer, I believe is what they're doing, Tony Wise. And
always good to see.
We're going to get Tim Glenn over here and talk to him. They knock off and upset Lexington Catholic 65-62. Tim Glenn, in his first year, wins the 11th Region Championship. So we're going to try to get Tim Glenn over here.
You know, Gary, I'm looking at, like I said, I was at that Scott County Simon Kenton game, and from that point forward, I guess I have to take credit because their next game was us, and I guess we got them started on this 8-3 run.
Well, let's get a headset on Tim Glenn as he gets the headset on so he can hear us, and he gets the Mingy beef jerky. Coach Glenn, congratulations. You told me before the game what you guys need to do. Man, you executed your game plan against a good Lexington Catholic team I think as well as anybody could.
You know, it's I told the guys over there, I said, guys, it almost brings me to tears how bad you wanted to win. And I mean, granted, we don't make the right call all the time, but it didn't take a mental heavyweight to see that if you can't stay in his way to some degree, he will burn you in all ways, shapes, and fashions. And we did the best we could. He still did so much. And again, McCaleb Coffey, we put him on a tough man every time we take out, and he's really done a great job.
You know, one of the things that as they were announcing the all-tournament team, and then when it was obvious that you guys were going to hang on, it's obvious that Taryn Hamilton statistically was the MVP. I mean, he had 16 rebounds the other night. He's a double-double machine. You know, when we had him over here, talked about how you guys got him off of Rothbauer to help out on penetration from Ben Johnson. But internally, one of the MVPs has to be McCaleb Coffey. That kid averages 5.4 points on the game, on the year. He comes in, scores 32 points in a regional tournament, shuts down Amari Taylor. He holds him from
made his free throws. Check his free throw percentage before we came to the region.
You got to listen to the replay. We had some fun with that. But Amari Taylor's 1 for 9 on Thursday, and Ben Johnson is 9 for 29. So McCaleb Coffey held two of the most explosive offensive players in the regional semis and finals to 10 for 39. That is just or 10 for 38. That's just an incredible effort by that young man.
I'm glad I have those numbers because I was going to say something when he got in there. I said, guys, McCaleb missed those 2 free throws there late, and he came over to you and said, my fault, Coach. And then Ben actually got a shot off, a fadeaway down there. He said, my fault, Coach. I said, McCaleb, we're standing where we're at because of what you're doing, son. I said,
absolutely.
Don't apologize to me. I said, just keep playing hard. So,
well, Coach, you win the 11th region. You moved to the Sweet 16. You have 11 days before you play. So what were you doing that 11-day preparation?
I know what he's going to do. He's going to get a little fishing in these couple days off. I know this boy.
Hey, I about went. I'm gonna be honest with you. I about went and caught a smallmouth today, but I didn't go. I actually went shed antler hunting. How about that?
What's that called?
I went shed antler hunting. I was looking for deer shed antlers, but I couldn't.
And people that don't know him, like I've known him my whole life, he's not making that up. You can't make something like that.
I will catch a smallmouth this week,
well,
I
Coach,
promise.
We know you want to get over and celebrate with your team, and congratulations for winning the 11th region against Lexington Catholic, 65-62.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim Glenn. That's Tim Glenn, the winning coach for Scott County. And we'll get Coffee over here as well and talk to him. Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, we'll get it to him. So Scott County wins it 65-62, and we're going to get McCaleb Coffee over here.
Don't forget your menu.
And let's get McCaleb Coffee in here. Mr. Coffee, I tell you what, how do you take your coffee? No cream and sugar? Or I tell you, your defense was just outstanding tonight. What was your mindset going in knowing you regarding Ben Johnson?
He's a tough player to guard. I've been guarding him since like 7th grade. I know him. I know his game. So.
Well, you know, one of the things, Michaela, we talked about the other day is you took on the task of guarding Amari Taylor. I know that's a former teammate of yours, so I'm sure you knew how he played. He goes 1 for 9, and you turn around and hold, arguably the best player in our region and one of the top 5 players in the state to 9 for 29. I know you don't know those numbers, but you do now. 9 for 29, 2 for 13 from the 3-point line, and the job you did was just unbelievable. And the help you had behind you, he didn't beat you off the drill much. When he did, you had help back there, and it's obvious that you guys played team defense, and that was part of the plan going in, right?
Yes, sir. We when we was in the locker room, we was talking about if I do get beat off the dribble, help side will be there, so that's why I wasn't that much worried about getting up in them.
Well, you had one of the best defensive performances that I've seen in this 11th region tournament, without question, Tony. That's
Absolutely.
One of the best defensive efforts I've seen by a young man who decided, even though your percentage on the season wasn't great from the free throw line, man, you hit them today when it counted, didn't you?
Yes, sir. We've been shooting free throws all week in practice, and I've just been working on my free throws.
And how about Taryn Hamilton? My goodness.
Yeah.
Double-double, had 23 points, 10 The man was unbelievable, and I know you, as a teammate of his, you got to enjoy
Yeah, we all believe in him.
Yeah.
Hey, I got one quick question. Because we had to play Tuesday and you guys had to play Thursday, what all did y'all do in practice to prepare for this? You probably couldn't do a whole lot because
all we did was shoot free throws, run over our plays, run over what they was going to do, and just shoot more free throws.
Well,
that paid off today.
It sure did. Congratulations, young
Appreciate
man.
it.
Headed to state tournament. Good luck in the state tournament. That's McCaleb Coffee, and what a season it's been here on Prep's been.
Thanks, sir.
65-62. William will be working the Sweet 16s for the KHSAA for the next 2 weeks, but then we'll have baseball here on Prep Spin. But what a way to end it. Scott County, stunning. Did you think this was as big a shocker as everybody else? Everybody else going to see the score and think, my goodness, what's going on in the 11? Scott County beats Lexington Catholic. Henry Clay gets beat by Frederick Douglass. I think this one shocked the world.
I don't want to say shocked, just from the fact that I really feel Scott County's comfort level, their experience, they did not look intimidated from the get-go. And some of the things that we talked about, did they handle the pressure? Yes. They only had 11 turnovers and didn't really take many bad shots. They did in the second quarter when Catholic went on that little run. On the glass, it was 32-29. They gave up the 19 offensive rebounds, and they were able to survive that. And they won the three-point line. 7 out of 13 compared to 5 out of 23 from Lexington Catholic. Yeah. And the X factors, we just talked to one, McCaleb Coffee, and also Chase Grigsby, who ended up with 12 points on the game. So
that's twice his average.
Again, look at the scores. 23, 12, 10, 9, and 8.
Yep. So great game by Scott County. Lexington Catholic will have a lot of their nucleus back next year. Most importantly, they got Ben Johnson back next year. So
that's a nice little building block.
That's a good building block right there. Ben Johnson. So they'll have him back next year, and they got some other great players coming back too. But Scott County moves on to the Whitaker Bank Boys Sweet 16, and that will start the 18th. The girls starts, of course, Franklin County stunned the world last night. Your Lady Flyers knocking off in that game Scott County. So
well, we mentioned earlier about how since Scott County came into the region, that only 3 other years since 2006, Madison Central twice, Dunbar once.
Yep.
There've been a state tournament. It's either been Lexington Catholic or Scott County.
Yep.
The girls' region has taken on that look as well.
Yep.
Lafayette went in 2014, and our girls have gone 4 times in 6 years, and Scott County has gone 2019, 2018. So that's 6 years in a row that the girls have been monopolized by Franklin County and Scott County.
So Scott County will take a 19-16 record into the state tournament.
Don't look at that record either.
That's right.
If you think, oh man, we're getting a 19-16 Scott County team, you better watch a lot of film.
Yep. Well, Tony, great work here in the
Absolutely.
regional tournament for Tony Wise, coach of Franklin County. For William Moorfield, the King of Stream, this is Gary Ball. The final score, 65-62. Scott County wins the 11th region for Joe Allen. So long, everybody, from Eastern Kentucky University. And thanks for watching PrepSpin.com. And please remember to hit that donate button. So thank you very much.